Ooh, yeah, that is good. There's another few of those in the fridge, which we're going to enjoy this evening. So thank you very much for that. And I'm going to give your channel a shout out in a moment. But there's a reason why I'm going to ask people not to subscribe to Perry's channel, at least not unless they're genuinely interested in the content. And I think now's probably as good a time as any to go through that. And we'll do that, first of all, by looking at the stats on the silly channel that I set up, or the demonstration channel that I set up, which was all about the different types of relaxing music. Now I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you here the latest stats on the channel. So far, altogether, this is week 4, 187 views. Well, whoopee-doo, but as I say, this is very, very early days. But this is the thing that's worrying me. I have 8 subscribers already. Now, 8 subscribers off of the back of 187 views is just ridiculously high. It's 4.2% of the people are subscribing. The viewers are subscribing. Now, you might think that that's a good thing. I mean, after all, aren't we all about getting subscribers on our channel? Isn't that what channel growth is usually, at least partly, defined as, the number of subscribers? Well, yes and no. In this instance, no, because what you really don't want is people who are going to subscribe to your channel for good reason, because they want to support you. I'm guessing that some of these subscribers are either my friends or probably people that are watching these updates. Why would it be a bad thing if people subscribe to your channel who are not interested in your content? Perhaps if you've got some idea, post it in the comments below the video. Oh, somebody's just joined us. Hello, Simon. How you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Simon.
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks for joining. You're the first person that's ever joined live. I think everybody else is shy, but that's all right, isn't it?
You know, I like a bit of video, mate.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, well, I'll ask you the question, and you could be my foil. So we started a brand new channel 4 weeks ago, which is absolutely no time in YouTube space, and we've got 8 subscribers. Now that works out at 4.2% of the people that have viewed the channel have subscribed. Now you think that that's a good thing, but just by comparison, in case you haven't watched previous lives, here's another channel that I've got, which is it's Tube Journeys, stupid other things, Tube Journeys, bus journeys, etc. This had about 2 million views, but if I do the subscriber to views, it comes down to about 0.7%. Just to also say, here's another channel I've got. It's got 91.5 million views, and this is down at about 0.15% of the people that have viewed have subscribed. So given that I've got a new channel with only 187 views, and we've got 4.2% of the people who have viewed have subscribed, that is crazy. It's ridiculously high. Why would that be a bad thing, do you think?
Well, it's a bad thing, because if you think that's going to carry on, you know that's not true. It's not going to happen.
I really hope it doesn't carry on, because it's going to kill my channel. But the reason that I'm going to dig a bit deeper in a moment, but just think about this. What does YouTube value above anything else nowadays when it's going to recommend your videos to other people?
Is it time that people hang around?
Exactly, it's watch time.
Yeah,
it's watch time. There are other metrics, but that's the most important one. So let's just say that you get your grandma and your best mate to subscribe to your channel, who have absolutely no interest in your content whatsoever. Then every time that you release a new video, they're not going to bother to watch it, are they?
No.
So YouTube's going to see that you're releasing content that even the people that have subscribed to your channel and expressed interest don't think it's worth watching, or if they do, they might give it a cursory glance for a couple of seconds and then off they go. So what you're actually doing is you're sending out signals to YouTube that although you've got people subscribing, they're not very engaged with your content.
Yeah, so we have this, we had this problem early on as well, because we got loads of subscribers. But the reason we were getting subscribers early on was because they were all people we were asking to watch the videos and subscribe.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reality is that a lot of them, we do, ours is about football, but a a lot of them were not really interested in football. The people who like football came back and watched. The rest of them didn't come back. So as you say, it become a bit pointless.
Yeah, well, it's not pointless. It's actually detrimental to your channel. So your friends and family might think that they're doing a good thing for you by subscribing, but actually, particularly in the early days where you've got very few views and very few subscribers, they're actually hurting you. So, I would ask them, if they're subscribing and not watching the content, please unsubscribe.
Yeah. I've got a question for you though, Peter, which is why I came on. Which
yeah, sure, go ahead.
You'll be able to answer. So you and I have talked about what we've been doing. So we've launched a podcast and we put it out as YouTube as well. And we're starting to get a lot more views on YouTube. But one of the things that is really odd is every so often we'll get a podcast episode which goes crazy for 12 hours. And you can see it's being suggested. And the stats are looking good. And we're getting a lot of views based on the suggestions. But I have no idea what is making that happen. It's really difficult to gauge when that's going to happen. We've tried different titles on your recommendation. We tried different thumbnails, but one of them went absolutely through the roof for 12 hours, and we have no idea why it happened.
Okay, so this is a podcast that you're putting out on YouTube alone, or are you putting out podcast on other mediums and then linking to a YouTube video?
No, so we're putting a podcast out on the normal podcast platforms as an audio podcast, and then we're just putting the video out on a YouTube channel, and every one of our videos goes on that YouTube channel. So it's a repeat of the podcast, but we have different audiences.
Okay, so in the early days, some of them go ballistic, some of them don't go ballistic.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of things to look at there. And again, there's no right answer. All there is empirical proof by trying it. The first thing that I would be looking at is what time am I putting the video out at? And what time is the audience that's most likely to watch that video going to be logged into YouTube? A lot of people do this. They release the videos, just at any old time. Which means that I'll make an extreme example. Let's say that you released it at 3 o'clock in the morning, made it go live, but 3 o'clock in the morning, but most of your audience is not really online until 11 o'clock in the morning. Then the YouTube algorithm will see something that's released, and then the velocity of the video, as it's called, the velocity is the views per hour, will start off very low, and therefore the YouTube's algorithm will assume that there's very little interest in it. So the first thing that I would be doing is looking at what time you're releasing it and looking at what time your audience is on. And there are tools there that will predict this for you, and give you, some stats. But I think actually even nowadays, I don't know whether I have enough video. I don't know whether I have enough data. That's not even that's a Word document. I can't click on that. I don't know whether I have enough data on this video channel yet to be able to show you where to find it. But I'll see whether or not maybe on here they are. There's the channel. And by the way, Perry, I've not forgotten, I'm going to give your channel a shout out in a moment. Let's have a look. Analytics, where is it? I really doubt there'll be enough. I doubt there'll be enough engagement. I'll try on a different one.
And I did look into that as well, and the odd thing about it. So we generally have been releasing 2 a week. One on a Friday and one on a Monday. The Friday one always does better because people, it appears, tend to spend more time over the weekend listening to this type of podcast. I mean, that seems obvious, but also the time at which we release on a Friday plays a big part as well. If I release it in the middle of the day at like 2 o'clock, then it doesn't do as well as if I release it at about 5:30.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because it's people who have subscribed and ring the bell will get a notification when it goes live.
Yeah.
So that's when you want to be able to jump on it. Also, if you're going to do releases and live, I don't know whether you do it live stream or whether you do it as a pre-recorded, going live a few minutes before the top of the hour can drastically improve your results.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So we've been doing pre-recorded for the releases, but then with the lives that we're doing, we generally do on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Before all the football starts, but we do it on Facebook, not on YouTube.
Right. Okay.
I don't know why we went that way, but it just seemed the easier way to do it. Although I think we will probably start doing it on YouTube. Yeah.
So the timing is probably the keywords in the title and the thumbnail are obviously going to be important. But from what you've said, it's probably a timing particularly if you've got a large subscriber base. The way to think of subscribers is effectively fans, and they'll get notified. So, you know, if you can go live, same with a lot of things. If you can just go live a few minutes before the top of the hour, lots of people who have scheduled their videos to go live automatically will have scheduled it for the top of the hour. So if you're in there 2 or 3 minutes before, you'll have them.
But I took your advice on a couple of things which really made a difference as well. So one of them was the thumbnails, which was an obvious one, which I hadn't spent enough time on. The other one was the titles and looking at what the searches were, and also what the competition were doing. And that made a massive difference. We also worked on the content, making sure the content was solid as well. But the difference when we started changing the titles of the videos was massive. Yeah.
Remember what we all say: find out what they want, give it to them, rinse, repeat, buy a big house. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's business in a nutshell, really.
Brilliant, mate. It's been really good, and these are really good as well. I've watched your lives, and I pick things up every time.
Yeah, there's a bit of an irony, really, isn't there? I'm going live on Facebook talking about YouTube. I should do it on YouTube, really. But, I don't want to get into. I don't want to have to be one of those big YouTubers where you've got a millstone and a commitment to doing it all the time. Yeah. Okay. So in your audience analytics, this is native YouTube data. So basically, the darker the color, the more of my audience will be online. Now yours will probably be different. Now I use one of the tools I use is something called TubeBuddy, which will actually interpret this data in more detail and give you the best time of the week to release and the best time of day.
God, that's good. I love that.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't really need that, to be honest. You can just get by with that. I mean, it says pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
But I would do that, certainly.
Love that, mate. Listen, I'm going to go and leave you to it. Keep doing these, mate, because they're brilliant. It's really useful. I learn something every time, and I appreciate your time doing it.
Brilliant. Okay, well, it makes it worthwhile. Thanks ever so much. Have a
mate.
merry lockdown Christmas.
Yeah, you too, mate. You're in tier 4, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going to be in tier 5 soon. It means you're not allowed to look out the window.
All right, mate. Have a good one. Merry Christmas.
All the best. Cheers. Bye for now. All right, before we go any further, let's just have a look at Perry's LMC Drivers Club. There's his channel. Just started out. There's a few things we could perhaps improve a little bit here and there. I'll talk to him outside of this over the Christmas period, no doubt. But well done, Perry, and say thank you very much for the beer. So what was a good way to get my attention is send beer. Thank you. Right, so where were we? So that's why we don't want people to be subscribing to our channel unless they're genuinely interested in the content. Let's go back to the channel for a moment and just have a look at some of the stats. Where are that's the wrong one. That's right. So let's go back to the main analytics. So have a look at the overview. We've not got that many views, to be honest. I didn't do very much work for a few days on it because I was working on other things. But this morning, I went in and I made some tweaks to titles and descriptions and tags and stuff. And as you can see, if I go into here, from almost nothing, just doing some work this afternoon, the views have started to pick up. Again, these are very small numbers and they really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. But what I wanted to do is say, well, you know, if we can see that we're getting some views coming in, where should we be focusing our work on optimization? Well, that's the titles, the tags, the descriptions, and everything else. But perhaps more at a strategic level, what kind of videos should we be making? I mean, I've decided that I'm sort of loosely going to go into the music genre, loosely around kind of relaxation and sleep and meditation, mainly because it's quite competitive, but also it's, to be honest, it's quite easy to make these kind of videos. I mean, doing a sleep meditation is easy. I mean, you can either buy them online and read them into the computer, or do what I do, use AI to make them up and then use text to speech to read them. So there isn't actually a lot of work to do. But if you were looking to go into a particular niche and you've got a choice of niches, how would you do it? Well, here's the way that I've done it. It's kind of a combination of things, really. But the first thing I would do is look at some keyword research. I'm just going to check, by the way, before I come on here, that there's no questions, because I've got Facebook and this one on the same screen. Perry says 64 subscribers, but they're all from our members, so I guess that's good then. Yes, that is good. 64 subscribers is good because they're well engaged. No more questions. Right, let's carry on. So here is a spreadsheet that I'm starting to do some keyword research, or started to do some keyword research. So I just went up here and brainstormed relaxation music, sleep music, meditation music, guided sleep meditations, yoga music, basically all sort of, I don't know, woo-woo relaxing stuff. And then I used a tool called TubeBuddy, which I mentioned a moment ago, didn't I? Just to go in and get a summary really of what the potential was for each of those niches. I'll show you the TubeBuddy tool. Let's have a look. I think I've got it here. Yeah, here we go. If I move this over. So put in yoga music, for instance, and TubeBuddy is saying that this is actually quite a poor niche. And the reason it's poor is that there's an awful lot of competitors, 37.5 million competitors, and only about 500,000 searches per month. So that's quite poor, because although there's lots of people searching, although the reasonable amount of people searching, 500,000, the competition is very stiff, and there's lots of videos that are optimized in that space. So perhaps we won't be very successful in yoga music. Did similar things with relaxation music and sleep music. As you can see, we've got 19 million competitors, 76 million competitors, and slightly better search volumes. But what sort of stuck out for me here was this one here, guided sleep meditation. Although TubeBuddy is saying it's poor, there is only 4 million competitors, and there's still around 500,000 people searching, as opposed to, if we looked at yoga music, 37 million competitors for just a few more searches every month. So this might be quite a good one to go for, even though TubeBuddy is saying that it's poor. Another one here, relaxation music. TubeBuddy says it's very good. That's mainly because there is a huge search volume, but there is also nearly 20 million competitors. Now, if you're being arrogant and or maybe just confident, you could say that competition isn't a problem so long as you're used to winning. And using some of the optimization tools and tricks that I'll be sharing, then we can compete in a market of 19 million or maybe even 76 million. But at least in the early days, it might be good to try and get some traction around sleep meditation, guided sleep meditation, because the competition here is not too hot, and there is at least 500,000 searches a month in there. Let's have a look then at the channel and just see how in practice those are playing out. Let's go back. Where is it? The way that I do this is I'd look in content, and then I'd search by the number of views that I've got. So again, early days, but I have a guided sleep meditation here that's got 27 views. Some yoga music actually got 13 views, which is strange given how competitive that was. But then the next one here is a sleep meditation video, and the next one here is a sleep meditation video. So we can see that out the top four, actually no, the top five, yeah, out the top 5 videos so far, 4 of them are guided sleep meditation. So that's probably a reasonable niche, because at the moment I'm trying all sorts of different types of music and seeing which ones stick. And eventually what I'll end up doing is finding a winning genre of music and then focusing on that, and probably even changing the channel name to reflect the new or the most popular niche that I'm in, because that's going to help us get valid subscribers later on, and I'll cover that in future streams. So overall then, guided sleep meditation is looking quite good. There is some stuff around yoga, but I'm going to keep trying different niches until I find one where I can really get some traction. And also, being quite lazy, I'm looking for a niche where it's easy and quick for me to make the videos. So I'm a bit disappointed actually that guided sleep meditation is starting to become popular, because it's a lot easier to make music without having to do the voiceover even if you can get the computer to do the voiceover. So I'll probably look around for some other music niches, which means that I have to do less work to produce the videos, because it's really about maximizing the amount of return you get for the amount of work that you put in. One final thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is something that you can try, have a look at doing short videos. They're called YouTube Shorts, and the definition of a YouTube Short is that it's less than 1 minute. The reason for that is that YouTube, particularly on the mobile app, is starting to give really good prevalence to short videos to try and compete with TikTok, which is obviously one of the biggest competitors. So on the phone app, when you scroll through, you will see a rack of videos which are shorts. The reason that it's really good to go for this is there isn't bad time for a phone call. Just I'll tell them to wait for a moment. I don't know how to stop it. I'll just turn the phone off. Yeah, so so the reason for doing shorts is because YouTube is giving very high prevalence to shorts in the suggested videos at the moment. Now, I made this one, was it 13th of December, uploaded it, and I want to show you the analytics. Again, very small data set, but have a look in the analytics at where the views are coming from. Now, browse features means that YouTube's algorithm is actually featuring this on parts of the real estate in YouTube, the channels, the thumbnails, the suggested videos, etc., where you would normally only get further down your YouTube journey, where you've earned the right to be suggested. Now, again, very, very small data set. I've only had 2 views on this. One of them has come from search. The other one has come from YouTube favoring my video over other videos, which is just crazy at this stage because the channel is so new that there's no heritage in it, and I don't deserve for people to find me through browse features yet. So there's a little hack there. Make a short video, and you can go and Google how to do that. But the main difference between a short video and a long video, apart from it being short, is that it has to be oblong that way up as opposed to that way up. So is that portrait? Yeah, portrait as opposed to landscape. There's nothing else you need to do in order to get it into the shorts. Just give that a go. And I think you'll find that if you leave it long enough, and it isn't instant, again, it's probably going to take a few months. Some of those shorts are going to start showing up and help you get visibility over and above your competition. Right, I reckon that's it. My beer's going flat. So thank you very much for joining us. Hope you found some value in that. If you have, let me know. If you've got any questions, post them. Yeah, it's Christmas soon, isn't it? So probably won't do this again until after Christmas. Wherever you are, enjoy Christmas, and yeah, let's hope that next year's better, eh? Because it's been a bit rubbish, hasn't it? All the best, lots of love to you. Bye for now. Cheers. Work out how you stop it. Bye bye.